Hello, Purple Rosa here, and I'm continuing on in Blackwood, back in Gideon, because there is another quest here to do. And yeah, let's just start it, see what it's about.
Look, I've got just as much right to stand here as anyone else. If those scantily clad Debellites want me to leave, you tell them to come out here and say it to my face.
No Bellites, what are you talking about?
You're not one of their sanctified bullies? That's a relief. Call me Faric. I came to Gideon to clear my family's name, but the loose-robed fanatics in the Dibalacium want to run me off. Started with dirty looks. Now I'm getting threats.
Why exactly are the Debella worshippers trying to get rid of you?
They think my Grana Cerise murdered their high priest decades ago. It's not true, and I mean to set the record straight. Might take a little snooping around, but the evidence is here. I know it. Want to lend a hand? Don't have much, but I can pay.
Okay, I'll help you with your investigation.
Thanks for the help. Not easy for Germains to make friends around here. The Debellites use that manse in the center of town as their Dibalacium. Sort of a consecrated love nest. There's proof of Grana's innocence in Gideon. We'll find it there.
That's a mouthful. Dibalacium. So, you said you're not from around here. Where do you travel from?
Bravo. Took an awful long time, what with the Three Banners War and all. But I made it, and I'm not leaving till I settle this once and for all.
Is it that important? Why come all this way to solve a 60-year-old crime?
Might have happened yesterday for all these people care. Nobody holds a grudge like an Imperial. If your name is Germain, you're lower than dirt in their eyes. I just had a son a couple years back, and he's already catching it on the chin. He's 2.
So you think clearing Teresa's name will earn you an apology?
An apology? I'm not that naive. I'm a carpenter by trade. I'll settle for people not hiding my tools and splitting my sawhorses 6 times a month. It's about respect. To oblivion with the rest.
Tell me more about this murder.
Like I said, the victim was one of the Debellites' high priests, a woman named Rolaine. This was 60 years ago, mind, but my grandfather tells me the locals worshipped the ground she walked on. Thought she was a prophet, or something near to it.
And the people blamed your grandmother for her death.
Aye, my Grana Cerise was Rolaine's flower bearer. Followed her everywhere she went. When a heap of treasure went missing and Rolaine vanished, Grana was the prime suspect. No one could prove it. Of course, since they never found her.
Your grandmother disappeared?
Like wood smoke in a windstorm, and without breathing a word to my Grandpa Lier. Way Grandpa tells it, neither of them would so much as visit the Lou without telling the other where they were headed. But the locals wouldn't listen.
What happened to your grandfather?
These damned zealots rallied half the city. Gathered up torches and shovels and ran him and my father out of town with nothing but the clothes on their backs. Even outside of Gideon, the rumors followed him. We haven't had a moment's peace since.
Do you have any evidence your grandmother was innocent?
Well, not exactly. For now, I can say I have good reason to think there's more to the story. I'll know more once we look around their makeshift Temple of Dibella, and I'll feel much better about doing that having you with me.
Help? Where is this? Bella Temple. Over here. Doubt they'll even let him in.
So, this is the Dibalacium. Just what I expected. Look at this place. These Debellites fancy themselves free-spirited bards blown by the wind. But they've got enough gold to make Zenithar blush. Doesn't matter. This is where we'll find our answers.
What do you imagine we'll find here after all these years?
I don't know yet. I just know we have to look. Take this. It's a rare bit of magic called a memory stone. Grana Cerise gave it to Grandpa Lier the night before she supposedly murdered Priestess Rolaine and fled. Maybe it'll show us something.
Ah, yeah. I've seen memory stones before. I knew an elf in Balmora who asked me to use one. That was in Varkfell.
Then you'll remember they hold their owner's memories inside them. I only learned about the stone's power a year ago, when a mage passed through Bravil and took an interest. He said memory stones only awaken in the place where the memory occurred.
So you believe that if this memory stone holds memories made here, it will activate?
Aye, that's the hope. I know we face long odds on this. Magic stones and lost memories sound like storybook nonsense, but it's really all I've got to go on. How about we start our search on the ground floor?
Huh. Let's investigate. So... here.
Look! The stone flashed! Did you see it? Try to use it. Something's happening. Is that... It's a memory! Who is that? Laura's mercy!
Wow. Someone killed them.
By the 8, what was that? A murder? Someone recorded a murder in that stone? Why would anyone do that? Wait, could this be related to the disappearances Grandpa Lier told me about?
Disappearances?
Aye. Way Grandpa Lier tells it, in the weeks before Rolain vanished, a handful of novitiates went missing. None of them were popular enough to raise an outcry. People said they must have just left, trying to get out from under Rolain's shadow.
You said your grandmother was Rolain's assistant. Did she know these novitiates?
Grana Cerise helped all the novitiates, cleaning linens, tending to flowers, arranging sheet music. She knew everyone. These people probably would have pinned the disappearances on her too. But the story took a dark turn after Rolain's murder.
What do you mean?
The Debellites decided it must have been a conspiracy. The missing novitiates were all in on the plot. Now we see the truth of it. Can't be sure, but whoever murdered those novitiates might have murdered Rolain too. We should keep investigating.
Alright, let's see if this stone resonates anywhere else. Okay.
What is it?
I think there's one upstairs. Maybe next room?
Another flash. Try the stone now. Not another one.
Dead. Oh, wow.
It preserved me. It's so real.
So who's the assassin? Here another one, must be upstairs.
You slayed Captain Blackheart. Thank the divines for brave souls like you.
There it is.
It's our killer again. What's he doing? Gods, what is that? Magic? Did you see those gestures? Can you repeat them?
Secret door.
Mara's mercy!
Yeah? It's like a vampire doorway.
Skeletons? Are those the murdered novitiates? I think I might... Come on, Faric. Keep it together.
Ledger of Souls, crude map. Fellow members of the Waking Flame, I have acquired 3 new souls for the Ideal Masters. Alas, I have exhausted my supply of black soul gems. I will need to acquire more gems if our relationship with the Ideal Masters is to bear fruit. For bookkeeping purposes, I have acquired the following souls. Even now, rumours of the novitiates perfidy are circulating through Gideon. The souls I acquired were dissatisfied with their lives and removed coins from the Bellicium's treasury. A simple deception, but the ignorant citizens of Gideon will swallow it quite easily. The harvest will continue, you have my word, for the Waking Flame. the cult's involved.
Find anything?
I did.
What have you got there? A letter? Here, let me have a look at it. Oh, and can I have my stone back? I think I've had my fill of grisly memories for now.
Sure. Looks like a ledger.
Clara, Ariel, Edgard. Yes, these were the novitiates. This should bring their families some closure, at least.
I guess.
It wasn't enough that the murderer killed the novitiates. She had to steal their souls, too? How would someone even do that?
The person who wrote the ledger mentioned black soul gems.
Huh. I've heard of soul gems before, but not black soul gems. I thought mages just used them on rabbits and goblins and such. These black ones can suck up the souls of men and mer? It preserve us. The ledger said the killer traded them, right?
Yes, or they intended to a group of mages called the Ideal Masters?
Never heard of them. But then again, honest carpenters like me don't do much business with soul-stealing wizards. It's all academic anyway. There's no way of knowing if the trade even took place. Unless that map you found contains a clue.
Points to a location in the swamps far east of Gideon.
I never told you how Priestess Rolain died, did I? She left to visit Leowyn in her carriage, along with her flower-bearer Cerise, my grandmother. They never arrived. Maybe this map shows where they went. Let's see where it leads, eh?
If no one recovered Priestess Rolain's body, how was your grandmother convicted of her murder?
Grandpa said there'd been talk about how Grana Cerise and the other junior priestesses of Dibella were greedy. When news came that Priestess Rolain had been murdered, none questioned they'd killed her. Instead, they burned Grandpa Lierre's home.
They had no one to blame for the murder and needed a scapegoat.
I don't see how it could be anything else. Sadly, I imagine the angry people who burned down our home and chased Grandpa Lierre away are dead now, so they're beyond justice. Yet we can still clear my grandmother's name. We must, for Grandpa Lierre.
Who are these Ideal Masters? It sounds familiar.
You're asking me? I figured you'd know. Whoever they are, I guess they like souls? The ledger said that the killer was bringing black soul gems to trade for a reward of some sort. Maybe they're part of the Waking Flame cult the killer mentioned?
Perhaps. Never heard. Yes, we have. Heard of the cult. We dealt with them in the prologue.
I wouldn't expect you to know about them. How many local cults are you familiar with? You seem so calm about all of this. So, these Waking Flame folks are still around? If our killer was one of them, that means they've been in Gideon for decades.
Well, Emperor Leovic did make the order, the cult. Maybe they're the ones that stirred up the threats against you to keep you off the scent.
By the Eight, I hope not. I can't imagine how horrifying it would be to die, but not die. To be trapped forever in one of those black soul gems. Just thinking about it makes me feel like I want to vomit. I'm so glad I have you to protect me.
Well, don't vomit on me. Okay, so... find the lost carriage.
My time is precious.
There was a doorway out this way. So, they were traveling to Leowyn. But why go that way when Leowyn is that way? Who knows? So yeah, the cult's involved in this. I still don't see how we're going to find proof. 60 years later. There's a cave over there.
Look, there in the water. Could that be it? See what you can find.
Skeleton. Floral signet. Black soul gems.
I'm afraid to ask, but I've got to. What did you find?
Found this ring on the skeleton's finger. Do you recognize it?
Let me see. Yes! I've seen that seal too many times. See the flowers encircling the face? It's a symbol of Dibella. This is a High Priestess's signet ring. It can't be a coincidence. That skeleton is Priestess Rolain. We found her.
Also found black soul gems in the chest, 3 of them.
So Priestess Rolain was transporting those? Why? Did Grana Cerise know about it? They left town together and vanished together. My grandmother's skeleton isn't here, so... By the 8, could Priestess Rolain be the killer?
If she's the killer, why is she dead and why is your grandmother missing?
Do you think... No, it couldn't have been Grana. She wasn't in Gideon when the novitiates were killed. The priestess had access to the treasury, had the ear of the people. It all makes sense, except how she died. We just... Wait. Look there!
What?
You should say hello, right? I'm right behind you.
The ghost? Maybe the priestess did kill the novitiates. And yeah, on their way to Leywin with the black soul gems. The priestess wanted to kill your grandmother, but failed. I guess we'll find out. So is this your grandmother's ghost? Guess she died here. Cerise farewell note. Liray, love of my life, I pray you find this one day. Seems I will never return to Gideon. Priestess Rolain mortally wounded me, and our carriage went off a cliff into the lake. It sunk out of sight, taking a chest and that treacherous priestess tangled in the reins along with it. It also left me with a broken leg. I'm afraid this is the end for me. Rolain struck me with some sort of spell. I can feel it gnawing away at me, but people must know the truth. So, my dearest, this is both a testimony and a farewell. I hope you will forgive me. I recently learned that Priestess Rolain and half the constables in Gideon are part of a secretive cult called the Waking Flame. Rolain has been murdering people and stealing their souls, perhaps for years now. She even keeps memories of the murders in an ensorcelled stone so she can relive her sick game whenever she pleases. She was deranged, Lyra, and many of the novitiates paid the price for her madness. Last night I learned Rolain planned to trade the souls she captured to a group of necromancers called the Ideal Masters. I had hoped to find some other way to stop her, but I had to act quickly. The novitiates were our friends, and there simply wasn't any time to do this any other way. I'm sorry I didn't tell you what I learned, but I was afraid they'd come after you. Now that Priestess Rolain is dead, I want you to bring the memory stone and the sworn testimony to the constabulary in Leywin. You must expose the Waking Flame before they murder anyone else. I love you so much. We'll see each other again one day. My love, Dibella, bless you. Aww. So she wasn't involved. It's the priestess.
That's Grana Cerise, isn't it? She's been here in this cave all this time.
She has.
Sorry for keeping you waiting. I'm sure uncovering murderous cults and meeting your grandmother's ghost is run-of-the-mill fodder for you. But for me, this is a bit much to take. I guess there was something to those dreams after all.
What dreams?
I know. I should have told you from the start, but I didn't want to scare you off thinking I was crazy or something. It started a month or so ago. A ghostly young woman rouses me from my bed every night and stares at me. Like she wants something.
And you think it's your grandmother?
I know it is. She just stared us both in the face and guided us to her remains, right? But what now? She put an end to Rolaine's plot, but no one will believe me. The Germains will keep getting stepped on. They'll say I faked the whole thing.
Maybe I could deliver the news to someone other than the Dibellites.
That might actually work. Keshu the Black Fin and her Argonians couldn't give two croaks about Dibella and her flock. Keshu's war mage, Fire from Nowhere, knows local history. He might just listen. Grana Cerise gave us the proof. Let's use it.
Alright, let's go speak with Fire from Nowhere then. We'll avenge you. So back to Gideon. I'll just teleport there. Yeah, we'll set this right. Stupid Dibellites overreacting over nothing. So he's over here.
No sign? Good. Carry on.
What?
Son's greetings, Biko. Your friend's eyes seem gray with worry. What troubles you both?
This is Faric Germain. We've been investigating the murder of Priestess Rolaine.
Rolaine? Ah, yes, the prophet woman these smooth skins mourn. She's been dead for a very long time, but still they cry. It is very strange. But that is the Imperial way, I guess. What did you discover? Something to quiet their hearts, I hope.
I have evidence that proves Priestess Rolaine was a necromancer and a serial killer.
Well then, that is not what I expected you to say. If this is true, there will be a great wailing in the Dibellium. Disbelief also. They curse the woman Cerise Germain, and all who hatch from her clutch. Your proof must be hard as stone.
It is. Cerise did kill Rolaine, but only to save others. Faric holds all the proof you'll need.
I can tell you speak the truth. In the name of Keshu, I claim the Breton Faric Germain as my charge. I place my hand upon the Hist and swear no harm will befall him here, and the truth of this will come to light no matter how grim.
Thanks, Captain. That went well.
Thank the Eight for Fire from Nowhere, and for you. I never could have accomplished this without your help. I can't believe it's over. These zealots will finally know the truth.
What will you do now?
I guess I'll stay in Gideon until we put this matter to rest for good. I want to see these people's faces when they come to terms with what really happened. Then, it's back to Bravo in my woodshop. Sooner the better. Thanks, hero. For everything.
Glad I could help. Hope your son gets a better life growing up.
If I didn't trust Keshu and her Argonians to protect me, I'd flee right now. I'm sure there are plenty of people in Gideon who will want me dead for what I know. But I'm staying. Grana Cerise was a hero, and I won't let her down.
Especially as the cult might still have members in Gideon. How are you feeling now that you know the truth?
Relieved? Honestly, I started all this to get the people of Cyrodiil off my family's back, and to get a full night's sleep. Not exactly selfish, but not a righteous crusade either, you know? But now that I know what Grana went through...
More personal?
Aye, and sadder. But we sorted it right. Spirits at rest, remains recovered, souls returned. I hope. This is as happy an ending as we could hope for, given the circumstances. Just makes me damn glad I'm a carpenter and not a full-time adventurer.
Well, glad I could help. So, now that he found out the truth, hopefully the Germains won't be looked down upon by the Dibellans and Imperials anymore. We've got to end this one here, and we'll continue questing in the next one. Thanks for watching.